Kia ora. Well, the good news is the second half of this week is generally looking drier, but for the next few days we keep hold of those northwesterly winds, continuing to bring that wet weather, that high humidity air as well, and those cloudier skies across the North Island as we head through the rest of today and also through towards Tuesday. Still some fairly heavy showers to watch out for, not just with this massive blue across the North Island, but also perhaps with this southerly change that flicks up through parts of Southland and Otago by the end of the day today. Now, there are some severe weather watches and warnings in place, particularly for places like Taranaki, Waitomo, up in towards Taupo and Taihape, and even in towards the Central Plateau and the eastern parts of the Bay of Plenty, with this wet weather taking its time to clear away on Tuesday. You can see it is moving northwards, clears away from the likes of Taranaki first, but lingers through the eastern parts of the Bay of Plenty and wraps around as well in towards parts of Hawke's Bay and Tairafti. Could be one or two heavy, perhaps thundery showers through there as well. Gradually, though, things will get better as we head through the night time. Some clearer skies back with us. Some cooler air as well, not quite as high humidity as well, so slightly less stuffy in that sense. For Wednesday, most of us are in for a drier day, particularly across the North Island. You can see back into more of a southwesterly rather than those northwesters. There's still some more showers down in the far south, still quite windy around Stewart Island, around Fovo Strait and in towards the likes of Clutha. But I think most of the showers just down towards Stewart Island and around the likes of Southland, Fiordland more especially, and up in towards Westland there. So dry for Canterbury, and I think a little bit drier and brighter for the North Island as well. By the time we head through towards Thursday, there is a little bit more in the way of a northward progression of those showers through Southland and Otago. Perhaps a touch more cloud makes its way in towards Canterbury, Kaikoura and Wellington, Wairarapa, but I think showers and those perhaps on the smaller side. Most of us, I think, in for a dry end to the day on Thursday as this higher pressure, this big broad area of high pressure becomes more dominant across us as we head through in towards Friday as well. But we're not quite done with the northwesterly winds yet. There's still more of them. You can see that channel of northwesterly winds there running down towards the likes of Fiordland and into Westland, bringing more wet weather for you guys, and still some stronger winds, especially around that far southwestern corner, whipping through there. Something to watch out for. For the North Island, Friday, drier, perhaps a touch more cloud on those western-facing coasts, but I think the second half of the week is looking like a drier story. Having said that, though, it's a pretty wet start, particularly for those areas exposed to the west. You can imagine with northwesterly winds, everything coming in from this direction hits the likes of Taranaki, Monga, the Central Plateau, those eastern hills in the Bay of Plenty, so those ones facing out towards the west, catching the bulk of that wet weather. So I think it's going to be a wet night tonight, Monday into Tuesday, those severe weather watches and warnings already in place. That's mainly for the likes of the tops of the Aotearoa range. And then we'll find a bit of a wraparound effect of that rain as it clears through on Tuesday, with it pushing in towards perhaps the Wairoa district and Taihape on that eastern coast. Could be perhaps a rumble of thunder through there as well. Might find another cluster of showers and heavy thunderstorms, or heavy showers and thunderstorms perhaps out towards the Tasman region by the end of the day on Tuesday. But other than that, I think the second half of the week generally looking drier for the North Island. You can see as well down the South Island, it's that east-west split with more wet weather on those western-facing coasts, again, particularly for the likes of Fiordland and up in towards Westland. We have got that feature that runs northwards on Thursday, might bring a few more of those showers up in towards parts of Southland and Otago. Similarly, we might find just an odd shower there through the afternoon today, and still perhaps one or two sharper ones. Not much makes its way northwards. We might catch a bit of drizzly weather first thing on Tuesday through parts of Canterbury and Kaikoura, up in towards parts of Marlborough. But I think most of the wet weather will be as we go towards the end of the week more than anything else. In terms of our temperatures, we've gone from those really high temperatures we've had over the last few days, highs of 27s, 28s through parts of Hawke's Bay. I think as the colder air starts to come back, we'll find our temperatures back down towards normal for the time of year. For places like Christchurch, that means we go from highs of 20 degrees Celsius today for Monday to around about 12 or 13 on Tuesday. Overnight lows back down to about 2s and 3s, so still some colder air. But you can see with those northwesterly winds returning by the end of the week, more of that warm air back towards us as well. So our temperatures are climbing back up again by the end of the week. So it's all up and down, classic springtime pattern. The direction of that wind is really important for knowing how our temperatures are going to pan out. But although we have got some warmer temperatures back by the end of the week, we have got a couple of cooler nights to come through as well. So worth bearing in mind. Still perhaps parts of the South Island cold enough for a touch of frost. As we go through in towards next week or so, we're going to carry on find it's a continuation of those more settled periods with the higher pressure running through, but we're never too far away from more of those northwesterly winds coming back towards us as we head in towards the end of October. That's it from me. This is from MetService.com.